All right, welcome on in everyone to another episode of First CSP, the channel dedicated to bringing you the first council shoulder patch issued from each council in Scouting America, both past and present. Today we're going to take a look at Blackhawk Area 660 out of Illinois. The council was originally formed in 1927 as the merger of Blackhawk Area 706 and Rockford 660. On the patch table, we have the first issue in older collecting guides. This was originally broken into two variations, the T1A and T1B. We do have both of those to show you today. However, in more current collecting guides, they have merged those and just called it T1. So, on the patch table, we have the T1A, defined with its orange border, black background, white letters, and thin white stylized Indian head. So this is the thinner of the two versions. Obviously, when we look at the T1B, they're going to say that it's just a stylized Indian head, which would mean the lines are slightly thicker than what we have here on the T1A. We will show you those side by side in a moment. First, we'll take a look at the back. This is the traditional older gauze cloth back T1A here. I will say the two variants T1A and T1B are very, very similar to one another. So let's get a T1B up here on the patch table. Here it is, the T1B, and the thickness that we see in the lines is what they define as the difference between the T1 there and the T2. And differentiating the thickness is very difficult. When we do happen to look at the back of our T1B, this is a plastic back. That does help also differentiate. At least it was a different production run for sure. And in person, you can see a slight difference in the thickness of the lines here, forming that stylized Indian head. You actually get a difference in colors of the black of twill. This is a darker twill, and I don't know if that's because of the plastic backing providing that support to the twill fabric itself that it comes across as blacker, or if the dye and the fabric itself is just actually darker, or if this one became sun faded, which due to age that could have happened as well. We don't keep anything in our collection anywhere near sunlight, but we don't know its history before it came to us. So it may be, but I will say neither of these actually look sun weathered or anything. So I think it is just a true difference in the twill, and that you're going to find that those T1Bs are a bit darker for the fabric itself. But those are the first issues. Again, nowadays collecting guides, we just refer to both of these as T1 with some variation in the stitching, whereas the older collecting guides do delineate these as a T1A here up top and a T1B on the bottom. I hope you have found that informational and at least entertaining, if nothing else. We are back every single day with brand new episodes. We'll be back tomorrow with a new episode of First CSP. We do hope to see you back here for that. Again, please feel free, if you're enjoying the content, to like. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love to work our way to 100 subscribers. That would be a big milestone for us. We do hope to hit it sometime this year. And share it with your friends if you think somebody might enjoy this content and hasn't seen it. Please let them know. We always like to continue to build the community because it's the viewers like yourself that help us with more information about the history of these councils, their patches, what the meaning of the imagery on them are. All of that has been really great. So dive into the comments below and you'll generally find some great information from other collectors or members of these councils in years past. With that, we're back tomorrow. Thanks again for hanging out today. We hope to see you tomorrow. Until then, have a great rest of your day.